episode of Conversations with the Persian Ladki. Today's topic basically revolves around how we end up meeting strangers. The age-old advice that our parents used to give us, don't talk to strangers, doesn't apply anymore. Or at least it hasn't applied in my case. I've always achieved great accolades and met different people, very interesting people, and achieved success in whatever profession I've taken on because I've had the courage to go and talk to strangers. Today, it's becoming more and more easier, right? With carpooling, like Uber and Ola. I end up talking to people who I share the cab with. They might think I'm nuts. And there are sometimes people who, don't want to talk, so I leave them alone. But there are other people who I've ended up having a conversation with. Because, usually the ride from my house to work is about an hour, hour and a half. And it makes sense to, have a conversation with someone, get to know them and all of that. And trust me, it has worked magically beautifully for me. Because I don't have a lot of friends in Pune, okay? And every time I'm in a cab, I've ended up making friends, And one such person actually is Linya. I have met her on the ride from work to home, right? When I was sharing a cab with her and Prerna. And I think I'll let her describe the experience for you.
Hi, I'm Linya.
Hi, I'm Prerna, and we were getting bored at home. We were sipping chai from our cups, and that is when we decided to go out. In no time, we booked Uber pool cab, and there we met Mariam.
And you can say miracles do happen. She, as a person, as lively she is, she struck a conversation with us, and we talked about love, solo traveling, life, and whatnot. And she's such a positive person, and how a simple Uber trip converted into a friendship.
It's the beginning of a beautiful friendship, I always say. Now, there are other ways in which you can meet strangers as well. Like, for instance, homestays. Whoever knew that you could open up your house to complete strangers and learn to trust them? Yes, I've done that. I've had maybe a couple of bad experiences, but not as bad as you would ever imagine, right? So I've had people from all over the world come stay with me. I've had people from different professions, from, different places. And I'm telling you, it has opened up my mindset. It has gotten me out of the box. It is what has helped me see the world with a different view. Other ways you can meet strangers. Of course, you can go through, social meetup apps, right? Like meetup.com or Tinder, whatever. You might not have a good view of Tinder, but Tinder has helped me find some really great friendships. And, there are guys, there are females, everybody on Tinder who's out there, not just, for a hookup or whatever. It's there also to make friends. If I'm traveling to, for instance, let me say when I was traveling to Cambodia, I ended up downloading Tinder and I met some very, very interesting people who showed me the country. I was traveling solo. So yes, solo traveling is another way you can find new friends and start great conversations. When you're on the solo trip next time, I know you want to avoid people, but at the same time, it's also great to meet new people, right? Go share a table with someone, for instance, at a local cafe beside your house. Every time you're working on a computer, whatever, invite people to join you on your table if you'd like. That's another way. Then, the age-old, again, advice that says don't meet people at clubs because you don't get good people there. Oh my God, I don't believe in that. I go to clubs, right? So I'm not someone who's desperate or whatever. You end up meeting me there, for instance. In the same way, you can end up meeting a lot of other interesting people. Doctors, lawyers, IT professionals, people who can join you in a startup idea, for instance. All of that happens when you meet strangers. Now, of course, there are certain tips that I have based on my experiences again. Like, if you're kind of hesitant to talk to people, the only way to get over your shyness is to keep talking to different people. Don't be pushy though, right? Don't be pushy because people might not like that. People might think you're weird. I had this guy once on an Uber share drive where he kept talking to me and asking me questions, and at that point I just wanted to be left alone because I was doing some work for my work. And I didn't want to be disturbed at that point. What would have been nice for him to say, hey, would you like to have a conversation? Or do you mind if I asked about, what kind of work you do? You seem busy. It's always good to check with people if they're comfortable talking to you or not. Secondly, have some conversation starters. People love to talk about themselves. I mean, no kidding, right? I'm one of them. So So if somebody came up to me and said, hey, you look interesting, what's your story? I would love to have a conversation with that person. Give them open-ended questions where, it gives them room to talk about what interests them. Okay? The other ways what you can do is you're meeting someone. It depends also on where you're meeting them, right? So if you're meeting them at a club, obviously you're not going to ask them, hey, tell me where you work, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's going to pay attention. Hey, can we take a selfie together? I'm a selfie queen, trust me. If you go through my Instagram, you're going to find loads and loads of selfies. So if you have a selfie, hey, once you have started a conversation, let's take a selfie, let me send you that. That way, if people are comfortable sharing their number, they'll do it. You'll understand that, right? Also, learn to trust people. Now, I know that today's situation, with everything happening around the country, it's very difficult to trust people. But if you are in a group of people or whatever, and the other person's a group of people you've had a conversation with, you can learn to trust them. I let in strangers, as I said, for Airbnb. I go to work while the Airbnb guest is at my house. How do I do that? It's because, I believe that people nowadays are becoming more conscious. They're not going to steal because they know that Airbnb, for instance, has very strict laws and the host is protected by insurance and housing policies. And then you begin to understand that life is more than just what you are and your immediate surroundings. You learn so much more about others and the world beyond your world that it enriches your life. So my advice to you would be, go open up to different people, go share stories, go have conversations, go hang out with different people, because you just never know what might click where, right? Have tea with people, I'm a teetotaler, so I'm always out and about finding new places to drink tea. So like, share and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button so you know whenever a new video is uploaded. Arrivederci, see you next week at the next episode of Conversations with the Persian Ladki.